land that we have. We also must make provision for lands. Every time you hear government, the government is in the business of trying to provide residential lots for persons. But land space is limited. Government's land, although you might say most of the land in Dominica might be government, but it's not. That is not a true statement. So, and Erica has taught us a very important lesson that we have to be careful where we build.
I'm happy. We're having a nice discussion that I wish we could continue having. Because even yesterday I called a few persons, because maybe next week I'll be having some discussion with a few people from the Pitted Savannah area, now finding themselves in a lot of difficulty because mortgages have to be paid. Some mortgages have to be paid. Maybe the bank will get in that discussion, so we'll talk a little further. That's not you're doing right now, but that would be that of management. I'm hoping to invite some managers, some top officials of the banks going forward with that discussion. But that is aside. But that is a discussion that we will be, willing to have with these people. They're having a lot of difficulty. But what is actually the role of planning, before we go back to the bank, the role of planning in all that regard, if you understand?
Okay, so on the day, what we'll do, we'll give valuable information in terms of when you start the process.
All right.
What is required of you? In terms of your drawings, your proof of ownership, you're required to fill an application form and then the process is going forward, because environment, in terms of your sewage and wastewater disposal, we have to take care of that.
Right.
Because once you will have built a house, that waste, it has to go somewhere, and it has to go somewhere that we don't have to deal with it later on. So through a referral process, we send out those drawings to environmental health, based on the type of structure you're putting up, how many floors, and so we send it to fire. Other agencies sometimes come into play. If you say you want to build, and it's a so-called sensitive area, they invite agriculture, common works, and the like. So we'll give them that valuable information, so they already know what is required of them, what the steps that are to be taken for that particular proposal in that particular locality. So they will get that information, so they know in terms of going forward what they should do.
All right. The importance of planning, that is very, very fundamental. And let's go back to the credit officer, and then we'll come back to the marketing officer. If you are not given permission by planning, you don't?
No, that's a fundamental requirement. If you don't have planning approval, basically the property that you're going to build on, that is what is going to be the bank security. And if that is compromised, then the bank really is holding nothing as security. So if there's no planning approval, then nothing can really be started. So that it doesn't really make much sense that we move and advance.
So that partnership with planning is very important.
So we advise persons, even not just to build. If, as Eric said, you purchasing land from a person who has 10 acres of land, they must provide us with evidence that they have the planning approval to subdivide. Because if you don't have, or they didn't get the planning approval to subdivide, they may have cut a piece of land for you without access, and then when you come to build, there's an issue. So all of those, we cement our relationship with the planning department, and we ask persons, for your own sake, it's not just for the bank, protect your own self, get the necessary confirmation that everything is nice and
you wanted to make a point there,
sir. And if I may just add, the NBD, it's the NBD's open house, but they've invited us, and I'm very happy that they did that, because their clients, the majority of them, their clients, they were our clients before they become the bank's client.
All right.
And sometimes they become the bank's clients before us. But that's why that partnership, that relationship is so important going forward.
All right, thank you very much. Now, we're talking about the big open house on Saturday. What will happen there, Ms. Rivera? Latouche. That's a Rivera Latouche. I don't know why I'm giving the name Rivera.
I don't know why you're renaming me. But I'd just like to say, last year, it's the second year that we're having this event.
Yes, I remember last year.
Last year was very good, and people were very appreciative of the information that they received. This year will actually be bigger. Last year we only used the downstairs of the parish hall. This year we'll be using both upstairs and downstairs.
Okay.
So upstairs we'll be doing the presentations with the planning division. We'll have a presentation. We'll also have a presentation by Mr. Vivian Trotter, who is a very experienced engineer, and we'll have presentations from 3 insurance agencies. That's First Domestic Insurance, Sagicor, and Nagico. And downstairs, we'll have a trade show. So we've invited various companies from the industry to come and give guidance to people who may be interested in purchasing land and buying their homes. And among these, it's just about 20 people. We have real estate agencies. We have Diamond Realty and Century 21. We also have QS, Mr. Jimmy John Baptiste, who will be joining us. Domlec will be on board as well. And EMS. We have Technical Support Services. We have J. Stefan and Company for their home and building. We have woodwork, electricians, plumbers. You know, the people who are involved in the industry. The people can come and get that kind of information that they need.
All right. So a very important day coming up there on Saturday. So make sure that you're part of that exercise. If you want to call and, of course, ask the questions today, maybe my good friend Eric seemed very capable. He'll answer you, and the loan officers here, credit officers, can help you too. Try to tell you how easy it is to get a loan. Will we be at all talking about maybe lowering the interest, maybe?
Well, I mean, our interest rates have recently been lowered, and I mean, we remain as competitive as possible.
Yeah, so what is it right now?
Right now, mortgage interest rate is 6.5%. I mean, gone are the days when mortgage rates were 8 and 9. It's now 6.5%.
That is affordable.
Making it up in more
very
affordable.
competitive?
Very competitive, yeah.
All right, thank you very much. And if you want to call us 449-3095, 449-3096, 449-3097. These are the numbers to call us, 616-4257. You may be at home and thinking about a mortgage at this time. That's the best time to do it.
Or even purchasing land.
Agricultural land too?
Residential land, agricultural land.
You give all types of
whatever land it is they want to purchase. They can come on down and get the information that they need. We encourage people to register, and you can go to any branch. There are registration forms available. It's also available on our website, www.nbdominica.com, or customers can call in to 255-2611 to register on the phone. Registration is not compulsory. In advance, people can come to the event and register at the event itself.
Okay, so it's a total free event. You know, some people might think,
Totally free.
I have to go and pay to listen. No.
That is valuable information, free of charge.
Free of charge.
I'd like to add, Matt.
Add what you want.
We have I gave you a flyer a while ago, right?
Right.
And there's a beautiful family on it.
Right.
The Francis family. And they attended last year. And because of the information they received, they were able to follow the guidelines that we set, that we, the advice that we gave. They followed it. And today, they actually own their home with no cost overruns. Just because they were so precise.
They were advised in the proper way.
Exactly. So we're actually going to have a testimonial from them on Saturday.
All right, let's take a phone call. Somebody's on the line there. Hello?
Hello, good morning, Mark.
Morning.
And your guests. Quick question. What arrangement is in place by NBD for persons who live out of Dominica in terms of wanting to build, but they're actually out of Dominica?
For persons in the diaspora, and they want to get in touch, or they want new information, any information available at this time?
Okay, for persons living in the diaspora, it would be not that much different than the information required to get a mortgage here. But because you're overseas, we would ask you for a little more detailed information. Details on your employment, your tax returns, your credit score. And that is needed to help us to better assess you, because you're not here where we can, go and do various credit reports at the different institutions. So in America, they have this credit bureau that you can log in with your social security number, and it would give you a credit rating. It would give us an indication as to all the credits you have currently, what you have had in the past, how you have paid. And once we have confirmation of your income, and that is usually captured in the tax return, we can assess you accordingly.
Let's take another phone call there. Hello.
Yes, good morning, Matt.
Morning to you.
Good morning to your guests in studio,
Yes.
the bankers and the planning people. My first comment is that it's a very excellent idea in terms of, discussing at the initial stages of planning.
Mm-hmm.
But Matt, while I understand the need to have a conversation with the prospective client,
Okay.
when I say a conversation, I mean you can talk to them, their background, how many kids they have, health background, history, and so on, just in case. Basically, if something happens, you're taking out a mortgage, payment is going to be so much. Is there anybody in the family with serious illness? How old are the children? They're going to school, university. You may need money in emergency and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
I do not understand the need for a CV. You're taking a mortgage loan. What is a CV for? A CV is not a job you're applying for. You can have a conversation, but I don't understand the CV. The other thing that I have a problem with in Dominica in particular is this thing that they're telling you after a certain age they don't give you a mortgage loan, and or you have difficulty with young professionals returning and or retired persons who are returning from England or the United States, and they have them give them difficulty in terms of obtaining. These are the people who are accustomed and understand the importance of paying on time and not delaying, because they are in their retirement, whatever income they are getting, they have budgeted basically, okay, I'm going to get a home, so I have to. And I think these are very safe, low-risk customers. The young professionals coming back, and mainly the seniors who are returning from abroad.
Well, I don't know. I'm trying to be fair here. Whether the representatives here can answer some of the questions when they only represent the bank. I don't know. Would you be willing to answer the questions?
Well, Mark, in terms of lending to professionals and gone past the retirement age as the caller indicated, if you're an employee and we know, okay, your age of retirement is going to be 65 years, the bank is not going to be irresponsible and give you a mortgage that is going to take you to 80 years. By 65, your income would have been slashed and you will be making a lot less. So we have to tailor a package to you that will allow you to live comfortably after retirement. Your mortgage has been paid. If you are a business owner and your business will go on, it's a going concern, it will go way past the retirement age, then we can extend the term for you accordingly. But if you're speaking at a strict employee, we have to be guided by their retirement age. And that is not just to protect the bank, it's also to protect you. Because think of now you're making $5,000, and when you reach 65, maybe your social security and whatnot brings you down to $2,000. Should we give you a loan that's going to pass retirement into 80 years when you will not be earning that $5,000 anymore?
Very interesting answer here, of course. Miss Marketing?
She asked about the CV. That's a he. Sorry.
That's a he, yes.
That's a he, sorry. About the CV. And Naren said earlier, Naren mentioned why we asked for the CV earlier. And it's just to safeguard the bank and to let the higher authorities know that the person is capable of getting another job, but probably even a better job than they actually have now, to continue servicing the loan in case, their circumstances change at this time.
Okay, but the telephones are going crazy. I know that. It's and we're almost around the time, to wrap it up. Hello, talk to me quickly, and then we'll take.
The guy who called before was talking about retirees or who asked for loans and so, and well, but for some reason or the other, they did not. Well, now my bank has that, because I had to make a plea because it was ridiculous. Mm-hmm. They told me that because I'm 65, they can't give me a loan. I wanted a short loan. I told them, but it's ridiculous. My pension is more than enough to pay my loan, and this is even better than somebody who's working. My pension, you get that for the rest of your life, whether you're sick, whether you're not working, whatever the situation is, that money is there. Compared to those people who have a job, they might be sick, they might be out of employment. So what is the point? That is what this guy was trying to make you understand. Those people that retired and they're able to pay their loan, then there shouldn't be no problem. Have a good day.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. maybe some other time, we'll have a discuss on that. But we're going forward with the open house, and we're going to wrap it up to tell us what is going down on Saturday.
Okay, so once again, we invite people who may be thinking about purchasing land, building their home, renovating or implementing energy strategies to come to the event. It's a free event this Saturday from 11 o'clock at the Goodwill Parish Hall. And we invite people to register, visit any branch or our website www.nbdominica.com or call in to 255-2611. People may also register upon entry at the event this Saturday. And we have the information will come from the planning division, Mr. Trotter, who is a very experienced engineer, insurance agencies, and people will have the opportunity to interact with several stakeholders in the industry. Again, it's a free event. Come one, come all. Tell your family, tell your friends to come to the Goodwill Parish Hall at 11 a.m. this Saturday.
Thank you very much for coming this morning. It was a total pleasure.
Thank you.
I wish I could continue the discussion, but some of the time. Eric, thank you. It was
Yeah,
my good friend. Trendsetter?
That's right.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
We'll see you again, Trendsetter. Maybe next Calypso.
That's right.
All right. 9:01. We're coming back after this.
With Roberts makes you win. Win cash with Roberts. You can win. Purchase any 445-gram Roberts product and get a chance to win $200 cash. Just buy Dove, Glow Spread, Mellow Cream, Sunflower, or the new Sunflower Olive Oil Spread, and you get a chance to win. 2 winners chosen every fortnight. Simply write your contact details at the back of your receipt and drop in the box provided at participating supermarkets island-wide. So shop now and win cash with Roberts. For the love of cooking, local distributors, Fine Foods Inc.
For the first time ever, the OECS Cycling Championship will be held in Dominica. Come Sunday, July 2nd, the cyclists from Anguilla, Antigua, Grenada, St. Lucia, St. Vincent, British Virgin Islands, and the host country, Dominica, will ride their way into the record books, calling all Dominicans along their cycling route to come out and witness for yourselves. Share, support, and encourage Team Dominica, including Bram Sanders and Daddy Chess, Mills, Garon, and the boys, as they bang Kokosh punch around the corner, waiting their option to navigate and negotiate the road as they compete with Bobby and Speed on Sunday, July 2nd. Starting from the Porter's Hill Savannah all the way to the entrance of the Capret's National Park and back to Porter's Hill Savannah. It's a 60-mile circuit race and it's Laughly Show, a race of fitness and endurance. Come out and support the first ever OECS organized cycling championships in Dominica. Sponsored by the Dominica Olympic Committee, Fine Foods Inc., Springfield Trading, S-Smart, Anchorage Hotel, Burton and Company, Ronald Charles Chambers, Farp and Flow, DBS, Kyrie Q and Vibes FM, Government of Dominica, Official Championship Water, Lupia Spring Water.
Yeah, we're drinking White Oak. Yeah, we're drinking White Oak. White Oak, we drink it. Yeah, we're drinking White Oak. Yeah, we're drinking White Oak. Look like the White Oak contagious. And it's spreading all over town. We loving the White Oak rum. And we just can't stop. Drink it up and we just can't stop. Pour it up, White Oak in the cup. Drink it up and we just can't stop. It's White Oak, we drinking rum. White Oak. When it pours, you raise. Win cash with Roberts. Roberts makes you win. Win cash with Roberts. You can win. Purchase any 445-gram Roberts product and get a chance to win $200 cash. Just buy Dove, Glow Spread, Mellow Cream, Sunflower, or the new Sunflower Olive Oil Spread, and you get a chance to win. 2 winners chosen every fortnight. Simply write your contact details at the back of your receipt and drop in the box provided at participating supermarkets island-wide. So shop now and win cash with Roberts. For the love of cooking, local distributors, Fine Foods Inc.
Fernandez, Black Label, really drinking good. Respect. Number 1, so good going down, cause it really drinking good. Around the town, respect can't done, cause it really drinking good. Respect any line, any hour, anytime we together. When the sunshine, the shower is respect forever, cause Fernandez, Black Label, really drinking good. Respect.
the village council had to call an emergency meeting. On council, it is obvious that the village is being ransacked. The chairman of the council asked, where is that extra vitality, strength and energy coming from? The clerk of the council hailed, sir, it is from the village rum. Imade, who is the village rum? If one is not who is what is. The village rum is a special drink made from Wabade and honey goat weed. Madu honey, who say honey. Wabade plus honey goat weed equals village rum. Hot fine foods. Every lay on boy sai cafe con pussy en fonyon. Chairman Lamadi, how do you know that? It is sir, how is who in the kitchen feeling the heat? My husband Peter was like Alolo show. Avante to boot, Junuteka, trembling and bap. Now DP come and say, boy, the village rum, the man gets so pompous. When I know it's time for homework, I don't even be afraid.
For the first time ever, the OECS Cycling Championship will be held in Dominica. Come Sunday, July 2nd, the cyclists from Anguilla, Antigua, Grenada, St. Lucia, St. Vincent, British Virgin Islands, and the host country, Dominica, will ride their way into the record books, calling all Dominicans along the cycling route to come out and witness for yourselves. Share, support, and encourage Team Dominica, including Bram Sanders and Daddy Chess, Mills, Garon, and the boys, as they bang push punch around the corner, waiting their option to navigate and negotiate the road as they compete with Bobby speed on Sunday, July 2nd. Starting from the Porter's Hill Savannah all the way to the entrance of the Cabrets National Park and back to Porter's Hill Savannah. It's a 60-mile circuit race and it's lovely show. A race of fitness and endurance. Come out and support the first ever OECS organized cycling championships in Dominica. Sponsored by the Dominica Olympic Committee, Fine Foods Inc., Springfield Trading, S-Smart, Anchorage Hotel, Burton and Company, Ronald Charles Chambers, Marpin Flow, DBS, Kyrie Q and Vibes FM, Government of Dominica, Official Championship Water, Lupia Spring Water.
I work hard for my money, so it means a lot. I gotta buy things and don't wanna spend a lot. My dollar goes far to save a lot. My dollar goes far to save a lot. Where shopping meets a better deal, where prices set your dollar bill. I work hard for my money, so it means a lot. I gotta buy things and don't wanna spend a lot. My dollar goes far to save a lot. My dollar goes far to save a lot.
Good morning to my good friend Lennon is in the house expecting our good friend Cecil. Of course, we started talking about weather last week. I suspect we'll continue with that conversation. Good morning, Lennon.
Yeah, good morning to you, Matt. Good morning to all many listeners around the world.
All right.
This morning.
I just broke the news a short while ago before we started the NBD that police are currently investigating a major burglary of the Muslim store, also known as Universal Elegance, located on the Bayfront in Roseau. A significant portion of jewelry was stolen at that establishment. Somebody there in the establishment, Lennon, I just wanted to tell you, told me that all the gold was gone, or is gone.
Wow.
And there's no time as to what the exact incident took place, but police are currently investigating this developing story.
Well,
yes, that's something else, huh?
Something else this
That's Thursday morning there. Sad news for our good friends there at the Muslim store. So what's going on, Leonard? What's going on?
Matt, as we continue, we're supposed to be joined by Cecil
Shillingford
a little later in the program to speak about disaster preparedness.
Mm-hmm.
But in the interim, Matt, we'll speak about what's available at Save-A-Lot so you can get prepared for hurricane season. We had a tropical wave yesterday, Matt.
Yeah.
Well, it didn't hit us full, but we had some rain.
bad weather expected all weekend. Huh?
Yes. So every reason to get all the more reasons to get prepared for the hurricane season. So we'll tell you what you can get at Save-A-Lot this hurricane season. Also, we'll speak about a little later in the program as well what's new at KFC and also what's going on at Save-A-Lot supermarket. So, Matt, we'll take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll dive straight into it and tell you what you can stock up on, what you can get for this hurricane season to avoid the rush at Save-A-Lot. So we'll take a quick break and come back.
Come back right after this.
OECS Cycling Championship will be held in Dominica. Come Sunday, July 2nd, the cyclists from Anguilla, Antigua, Grenada, St. Lucia, St. Vincent, British Virgin Islands, and the host country, Dominica, will ride their way into the record books, calling all Dominicans along the cycling route to come out and witness for yourself. Share, support, and encourage Team Dominica, including Bram Sanderson, Daddy Chess, Mills, Garon, and the boys as they bend Kokosh punch around the corner, waiting their option to navigate and negotiate the road as they compete with Bobby Speed on Sunday, July 2nd, starting from the Porterville Savannah all the way to the entrance of the Caprettes National Park and back to Porterville Savannah. It's a 60-mile circuit race and it's Laughly Show, a race of fitness and endurance. Come out and support the first ever OECS organized cycling championships in Dominica, sponsored by the Dominica Olympic Committee, Fine Foods Inc., Springfield Trading, S-Smart, Anchorage Hotel, Burton and Company, Ronald Charles Chambers, Marpin Flow, DBS, Kyrie Q, and Vibes FM, Government of Dominica, official championship water, Lupia Spring Water.
I work hard for my money, so it means a lot. I gotta buy things and don't wanna spend a lot. My dollar goes far to save a lot. My dollar goes far to save a lot. Where shopping meets a better deal, where prices set your dollar bill. I work hard for my money, so it means a lot. I gotta buy things and don't wanna spend a lot. My dollar goes far to save a lot. My dollar goes far to save a lot.
We're back, and of course, we're expecting our good friend, Mr. Schillenford, any moment now. But tell us what's going down at Save-A-Lot on this hurricane season.
Hurricane season, you have to have your hurricane checklist, and Save-A-Lot has taken the liberty to put together a checklist for you in case you don't have one. And we have all these items available at Save-A-Lot, so you have no reason not to come down. Come down, stock up for the hurricane season, Matt. You know what we are trying to prevent this year, Matt? We're trying to prevent the rush whenever a storm is imminent. Whenever we know that we're going to be hit by a storm, you know what happens, Matt? We see the long lines at the supermarkets, long lines at the gas stations. It's a mess. And we have to remember.
Why are we? I say we.
I say we, yes.
Why don't we like the last minute?
We like last minute. So, man, we're trying to move away from that this year. I mean, just because remember the night before Erica, man, we had no warning, remember?
No. Just
a little, we are expecting a trough system.
Went to bed and Dominica totally destroyed there.
Okay.
Especially Peter Stefan.
Exactly. So if we bear that in mind, we will know that we need to have a hurricane checklist. The hurricane season, and the stuff that you buy for the hurricane season, Matt, it's not perishable items. So let's go for a list. We go canned goods. We have the expiry date of most vacuum packed canned goods will be maybe 2 years, year and a half. So you're pretty okay there. A can opener, very essential. Some people don't have one. So you need to put this on your checklist and get it at Save-A-Lot. Snacks, if you have children, dry snacks as well that can withstand storm. Also, personal hygiene products, but for the women, your sanitary napkins, etc. Stuff like toothpaste, toothbrushes, hydrogen peroxide, which is essential for someone like me with a child, Matt. You can't have a home without it. It's not complete without it. It's so many applications used for cleaning cuts and wounds and bruises. Even used to gargle the mouth if you have any cuts in the mouth or whatever. You can also get that at Save-A-Lot. A trash bag, portable charger, water, of course, man. We have water in various sizes at Save-A-Lot downstairs in the supermarket. So you want to stock up on that, not only when the storm is coming, but now the water will have a shelf life for about a year, Matt. So you can have the water, it won't spoil. I mean, it's basic, getting those basic essentials and getting prepared for the hurricane season. Cash, very important to have some cash on hand. So always ensure you have that. Sometimes the ATMs might be down, so always ensure you have some cash on hand. Medication, a battery operated radio. Last week, Cecil stressed on the importance of that, man. It's small. It might seem insignificant to some people, but Matt, during Erica, that was the only form of communication we had with the outside world. Just to know what's going on. It was a radio. Most people had no power and no internet, so your cell phones were down because you could not charge them, and that was your only way of getting updates through your battery operated radio. Also flashlights, man, and we're trying to move away from using candles and those kerosene lamps and hurricane lamps, as we say, Matt. We move to a battery operated flashlight, which is much safer. You can't put a child to sleep with a candle, Matt, in the room, you know.
Not safe at all.
Anytime you have open flame, Matt, is very dangerous. So just remind everyone of that. Blankets as well, glasses or contacts, glasses cases as well, to protect your spectacles, your glasses. Also pet food for your pets. Quite a few people have dogs and cats, and that's important. Whistles to attract attention, tools, and also a backpack to store everything. All this is available at Save A Lot. So get prepared for the hurricane season. Come on down to Save A Lot. We have everything you need to get prepared and be ready this hurricane season at Save A Lot. Matt, and when you come back on the other side of the break, we'll be speaking to Cecil, who will give us some more disaster preparedness tips.
Thank you. Maybe he'll give us an update as to what is going on with the weather. A lot of people seem worried this weekend. Coming back, 9:16.
I work hard for my money, so it means a lot. I gotta buy things and don't wanna spend a lot. My dollar goes far to save a lot. My dollar goes far to save a lot. Where shopping makes a better deal, where prices set your dollar bill. I work hard for my money, so it means a lot. I gotta buy things and don't wanna spend a lot. My dollar goes far to save a lot. My dollar goes far to save a lot.
For the first time ever, the OECS Cycling Championship will be held in Dominica. Come Sunday, July 2nd, the cyclists from Anguilla, Antigua, Grenada, St. Lucia, St. Vincent, British Virgin Islands, and the host country, Dominica, will ride their way into the record books, calling all Dominicans along their cycling route to come out and witness for yourself. Share, support, and encourage Team Dominica, including Bram Sanders and Daddy Chess, Mills, Garon, and the boys, as they bend, go push, punch around the corner, waiting their option to navigate and negotiate the road as they compete with bubbling speed on Sunday, July 2nd, starting from the Porter's Hill Savannah all the way to the entrance of the Capretz National Park and back to Porter's Hill Savannah. It's a 60-mile circuit race, and it's lovely show, a race of fitness and endurance. Come out and support the first ever OECS organized cycling championships in Dominica, sponsored by the Dominica Olympic Committee, Fine Foods Inc., Sprinkle Trading, S-Smart, Anchorage Hotel, Burton and Company, Ronald Charles Chambers, Marpin Flow, DVS, Kyrie Q, and Vibes FM, Government of Dominica, official championship water, Lupia Spring Water.
Remember, we are in the hurricane season. Are you a bicyclist? A bicycle may be a good backup mode of transportation. After a big storm hits, there may not be any gasoline available for days or even weeks because of power outages and the gas pumps not working. If your neighborhood is destroyed, you will be able to go for supplies or even ride out of the area. Make certain that the bike tires are pumped up before a storm hits. Have an inner tube patch kit and an ear pump or ear compressor that runs off the battery of your car handy as well. We are in the hurricane season. Cut down trees close to your house, car, and any other buildings, or at very least trim their branches. If a large tree falls onto your house, it can punch a big hole in the roof. If a large tree falls onto your car, it can easily be crushed flat. Spindly evergreens are especially likely to fall in the event of a hurricane.
Win cash with Roberts. Roberts makes you win. Win cash with Roberts. You can win. Purchase any 445-gram Roberts product and get a chance to win $200 cash. Just buy Dove, Glow Spread, Mellow Cream, Sunflower, or the new Sunflower Olive Oil Spread, and you get a chance to win. 2 winners chosen every fortnight. Simply write your contact details at the back of your receipt and drop in the box provided at participating supermarkets island-wide. So shop now and win cash with Roberts. Roberts, for the love of cooking. Local distributors, Fine Foods Inc.
All right, good morning, Dominica. We're here. Robust tropical disturbance over the eastern Atlantic to be watched, we've been told, for the weekend. Of course, we have the disaster preparedness consultant with us this morning. Maybe he can give us an update as to what just is going on and what should we get ready for this weekend. Good morning, Cecil.
Yeah, good morning, Matt, and good morning, Lennon. I really thought I was coming in for 9:15. So I do not want it to sound that I was late, but I was at an institution, and then when I looked and I saw it was 7 past, and there were a few people ahead of me, I said, I'm leaving. And then a guy told me, look, Matt just called your name. You know?
All right.
Anyway, I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to
Good to have you, sir.
Teaming up with Lennon and the good folks at Fine Foods, Save a Lot, etc. For this hurricane season.
Okay. So Cecil, what is really going on this weekend?
Yeah, well, I mean, people have to understand that around now we will be seeing a lot of trough systems, we'll be seeing a lot of tropical waves going by, and these are the things that eventually become hurricanes, storms and hurricanes. But we're hoping that most of them will pass as tropical waves. A tropical wave went through over the last couple of days. Nothing significant, but I understand that it dumped a lot of rain on Dominica, especially my community, where I could see a lot of the drains overflowing and what have you from that rain when I got in last night. But there is another sort of significant system that is being monitored off the Cape Verde in the Atlantic, and it is heading in this direction. Although some of the prognosis I have seen doesn't indicate that it's going to be a tropical storm or hurricane. However, you can never tell. It's early still to tell. So we just have to be on our P's and Q's and look at it. I think the last I saw was a 20% chance of development, which is very little. So, but we'll still look at it and ensure that people are kept informed. Most of the countries listed in terms of it affecting would be south of Martinique. Well, Martinique and the island south. So right now, Dominica is not yet in the big picture. So,
because I'm reading something here that seems a little worrying here. The model guidance forecast with this tropical disturbance are intriguing, as the GFS, European and Canadian models, are also forecasting significant strengthening as it moves across Barbados and the southern Lesser Antilles. Can you break that down for us?
Yeah, well, that's pretty much the same thing, except that that came from, I noticed that it's making the rounds on WhatsApp, but we lean more to the National Hurricane Center. And as I indicated, it shows 20%.
So we're following the forecast, follow the Hurricane Center.
Yeah, that's what we rely on. There are a lot of other people predicting out there.
All right.
Things you can just pick up on the internet, and right now you have to be
very careful
with all the fake news that's going around and the fake things that's going around. I'm not saying that's not legitimate. I'm just saying I saw that going all around yesterday, and I did check the Hurricane Center this morning, and that's the indication. That's just a 20% of increasing. So, but if it does, we'll deal with it.
Be prepared.
Yeah, you just have to be prepared.
And that's your point all the time.
Always be prepared. And
even somebody said another reporter was saying to me yesterday, your center, local center, seem to be more on point than they have been in the past.
Yeah, they've been well. Right now, well, of course, there's Marshall, who has been there quite a while. Fitzroy Pascal is a forecaster. We do not have a forecasting station in Dominica.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, we're still relying on Barbados. Barbados is our forecasting center. But even the predictions they do here sometimes are more on point than the ones Barbados do for us.
Okay.
Remember, they are here on the ground and they can see the local conditions and work with the local conditions to come up with a prediction. And there's also Viola Pascal, who is also a forecaster. She's a Jamaican, but she's married to a Dominican.
All right.
And she's at the Met Office.
Well, we're happy to hear.
So they're more on point,
news.
as you said.
They're more on point. All right. Any question coming from you, Lennon, this morning?
Not just as we continue with preparedness, I wanted to ask Cecil, what are the basic things you do, the steps before a storm? Because I know the first thing people do, they get the information via WhatsApp or radio, and they rush to the supermarket.
Yeah, well, you made the point. You made the point this morning, and I'm so happy that you made the point. And that's something we've been laboring with for a number of years. That people purchase whatever is required. The information is out there. Business company, a lot of business places right now are on board with like hurricane kits and things of that nature, and providing tips. You get a lot on the internet. You just have to be careful again. And the local authorities have been putting out quite some information. So the modus operandi is that when you hear that it's time to shut down, that's the time everybody run to the gas station. Create a queue, block the road so other people who want to get to their homes cannot get to their homes. You have people running in the supermarkets and shopping. And the thing about it is they shop till they drop, almost ready to drop, because and they shop for unessential things.
Yeah. Things that you don't need.
Yeah, things they don't need. You see people pushing 2 trolleys or have 2 baskets in their hand and a lot of meats and what have you. And power may go. So if there's no power, what you're going to do? Well, you can fry it, you can roast it, you can barbecue it. There are a few parfuming, there are a few things you can do with it. But at the same time, it's just not necessary. And we find that people shop as if they were told that there will be nothing in Dominica after the storm, which is not true. Several warehouses, because of the economic situation. One of the things I did when I was National Disaster Coordinator, I used to lobby the private sector to sort of increase on their stock during the hurricane season.
Canned stuff?
Anything. Sugar, flour, rice, canned stuff, biscuits and so on. So they could up their stock a little to go through the hurricane season. But towards the end, people were complaining about, boy, you know, things are not good, the economy is a little down and so on, so we cannot. Another thing we always try to ensure is that we have enough fuel in the country during the hurricane season. So in the event that you cannot bring in a boat, you cannot bring in a barge or what have you, you have enough that could last for a month, 2 months before you get new stock. So we're hoping that
so if somebody gave you a job to do some shopping, just say a day before or days before a hurricane, what would be your priority in terms of your shopping list?
Lots of water, little sugar, some tea, some coffee, biscuits, some cheese. I'm not too big on canned stuff, but if you want some canned stuff, some sardines and tuna, and for those who like corned beef and the other stuff, they can buy some. But things you can just open and eat. Things you can pull out of the refrigerator, pull out a block of cheese from your refrigerator, and you just cut it up, put it in the bread, and you eat it. You haven't got a lot of time to worry about stewing wings or back and neck or something like that, you know? So things you can eat immediately. If you have children, you must remember their formulas, whatever special food they need. You would also have to remember Pampers and what have you. For people who are on medication, at least a month's supply of medication, and for elderly people, some of the medication they must have.
All right. Somebody's asking, I suspect wants to ask a question. Hello? Hello? I'm not hearing you, my brother. You're not saying anything. Are you there? Are you there? We're going on and off here on this line. Let's see if we try another line. Hello?
Yeah, good morning, Matt.
Morning, yes?
Yes, Cecil is still on, right?
He's right here.
Yeah. Matt, one of the things that that bothered me the most, and I've been monitoring it over the past couple of years, and it's one of the most embarrassing things that always happen on the island, is the shortage of water for a place like Dominica, 365 rivers.
Okay.
And we also have a bottling water in water factory.
Mm-hmm.
At no point in time be out of water. Now, I always recommended through social media that I think the government should actually, for at least that first commodity, and you can extend that to rice and flour, but the government should have what they call a reserve within the factory, the water factory. So let's suppose you have a 5,000 cases government reserve, right? And then what you do first in before the people method, first in, first out. So there's always a stock of 5,000 cartons of water that belongs to the government in case of a disaster. So what happens is that through manufacturing, whenever a fresh stock of water comes out from the factory chain, your local consumption or what you take from your local stock would come from the reserve. So that way, your reserve would always have what they call fresh water.
All right, let's discuss that, Cecil. Of course, he spoke of the importance of storing water. Cecil?
Yeah, it's very important to have lots of water. You can survive without food, but you will hardly make it through without water. So you need a lot of water, and you also need water for cleaning. During a storm situation, you have to try to keep everything clean as possible. Your hands, your floors, your kitchens, etc., to ensure that there's no breakout of any health situation. So a lot of water is important. The caller is making a very good point. I think there are issues with at least one of the water companies in terms of production. And again, because we have so much drinking water available in Dominica, I don't think water is too much of a big item, a big sale item, but certainly would maybe want to see a little more production in terms of water. But one of the other things that can be done is if everybody stores water early, you could have a good supply for your home, and also you can also do your own your own
but here's the question, sister. How long, important question, how long can you store water?
Water can last for a week, 2 weeks.
Because we have a lot of concerns these days about the heat and water.
Yeah, well, it depends on where you store it. Right. One of my concerns during Tropical Storm Erica is that we had a lot of water in containers. I'm from the Rotary Club, and we brought in a lot of, well, we didn't bring it in. People gave us a lot of water for distribution. And one of the things I kept saying to my colleagues, because I was out doing other things, so I could not really assist with the Rotary relief, but we were keeping in touch, and I kept saying, guys, do away with the water. The water is in a container, it's very hot. After a few days, it could be problematic because it's not healthy, because whatever is in the bottle, once it gets heated up too much, it can filter into the water. So you do not want to keep water in a container in a hot temperature like we have here. But you can keep water for a little while if it's stored properly.
Cool.
If it's kept cool, yeah.
Cool,
away
from direct sunlight.
Away from direct sunlight.
And you have a lot of water at Save-A-Lot.
Oh yes, man. We brought in about 4 containers of water, so we have a lot of stuff.
And what can be done, Matt, is you can also purify your own water. And that's one of the things maybe here in Dominica we have to look at. I know the Red Cross has one of those machines that can purify tons of water. I just came back from a conference, nothing to do with disaster. It's really a Rotary international conference. And one of the things I saw was water and sanitation booth.
Very important.
And when I spoke to the gentleman in the booth, there's a nice small compact unit that you can purchase for about $2,500 and of course an individual wouldn't purchase it, but maybe a community or something, and you could just have it. It works on solar, and you could just have that turning out clean water, good drinking water for days.
Right. Before we wrap it up, we'll take one final phone call and we'll allow Lennon to wrap up this morning there. Hello.
Yes, good morning, Matt, and good morning to Mr. Shillingford. Matt, while one is not opposed to buying other foods, I mean, that is true. But at the end of the day, usually when there is a storm or disaster, the merchants tend to increase there's a surge in food prices. And so if you cannot avoid that is something else. And another thing again, I mean, one can never be able to store so much water to keep him going, he or she going. We would like to know the status of the water with respect to storage tanks that could at least give us water for some time, especially those who are not able to store as much as possible. Thank you.
My friend, yeah, that's a good point. One of the things we notice that whenever there is a big system approaching, real close to Dominica that the WASCO has to shut down its entire systems because they do not want siltation into the pipes and intakes. Well, they will get some siltation in the intakes, but into the pipes and the storage tanks and distribution lines, etc. One thing maybe they can look at and impressing on some of their field people who are in charge of the tanks, ensure that whenever there is an hurricane approaching, especially Dominica, that they ensure that all tanks are filled before they shut down. And once they shut down, it's just a matter of us consumers to use it wisely. You cannot take a half an hour shower at that time. You cannot sprinkle the lawn and wash the car and things of that nature, unless you can just pull it out of a river. But yeah, water is very important, and we have to do everything. So we have to impress on the WASCO that they have to ensure that they have lots of water during these periods.
All right, thank you very much. The final, or the parting words are yours, my friend.
Hey, Matt, just want to reiterate on some of the points that Cecil made. Just get prepared this hurricane season, Matt. And all what you're looking for this hurricane season is available at Save-A-Lot, all your hurricane kits, all the canned goods, the water, man. We brought in lots of water, and during tropical South America, we know what happened. So we've had that experience. So we have prepared ourselves for hurricane season, and you should too as well. So just want to remind our listeners of that. Also, something new at KFC, or new Smoke and Fire.
Smoke and Fire.
Smoke and Fire.
Tell that to Ceci. He love KFC.
Chicken.
I used to be a lover, but
I know you love fast food, Ceci, at one time.
Yeah.
You don't love it anymore?
No.
All right.
I'm putting too much weight around my meat section.
We'll be talking to you next week. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right, let's go and do this. Come back.
I work hard for my money, so it means a lot. I gotta buy things and don't wanna spend a lot. My dollar goes far to save a lot. My dollar goes far to save a lot. Where shopping makes a better deal, where prices set your dollar bill. I work hard for my money, so it means a lot. I gotta buy things and don't wanna spend a lot. My dollar goes far to save a lot. My dollar goes far to save a lot.
For the first time ever, the OECS Cycling Championship will be held in Dominica. Come Sunday, July 2nd, the cyclists from Anguilla, Antigua, Grenada, St. Lucia, St. Vincent, British Virgin Islands, and the host country, Dominica, will ride their way into the record books, calling all Dominicans along their cycling route to come out and witness for yourself. Share, support, and encourage Team Dominica, including Bram Sanders and Daddy Chess, Mills, Garon, and the boys, as they bend, go push, punch around the corner, waiting their option to navigate and negotiate the road as they compete with Bobby and Speed on Sunday, July 2nd, starting from the Porterville Savannah all the way to the entrance of the Caprettes National Park and back to Porterville Savannah. It's a 60-mile circuit race, and it's Laughly Show, a race of fitness and endurance. Come out and support the first ever OECS organized cycling championships in Dominica, sponsored by the Dominica Olympic Committee, Fine Foods Inc., Sprinkle Trading, S-Smart, Anchorage Hotel, Burton and Company, Ronald Charles Chambers, Marpin Flow, DBS, Kyrie Q, and Vibes FM, Government of Dominica, official championship water, Lupia Spring Water.
Remember, we are in the hurricane season. Are you a bicyclist? A bicycle may be a good backup mode of transportation. After a big storm hits, there may not be any gasoline available for days or even weeks because of power outages and the gas pumps not working. If your neighborhood is destroyed, you will be able to go for supplies or even ride out of the area. Make certain that the bike tires are pumped up before a storm hits. Have an inner tube patch kit and an ear pump or ear compressor that runs off the battery of your car handy as well. We are in the hurricane season. Cut down trees close to your house, car, and any other buildings, or at very least trim their branches. If a large tree falls onto your house, it can punch a big hole in the roof. If a large tree falls onto your car, it can easily be crushed flat. Spindly evergreens are especially likely to fall in the event of a hurricane.
Win cash with Roberts. Roberts makes you win. Win cash with Roberts. You can win, win, win. Purchase any 445-gram Roberts product and get a chance to win $200 cash. Just buy Dove, Glow Spread, Mellow Cream, Sunflower, or the new Sunflower Olive Oil Spread, and you get a chance to win. 2 winners chosen every fortnight. Simply write your contact details at the back of your receipt and drop in the box provided at participating supermarkets island-wide. So shop now and win cash with Robert. Roberts, for the love of cooking. Local distributors, Fine Foods Inc.
Remember, we are in the hurricane season. Listen to Q95 FM radio when a hurricane is approaching. This will help you create a plan of action. Continue keeping in touch with your friends and family. They will gain comfort just knowing where you are, how you are faring, and how close the storm is to you. If you are in an area that is on the outskirts of the storm, tell them. Assure them that you are all doing well. Remember, they only know what they are told on the radio, and their imagination runs wild. If you lose your telephone power, call them at least once with your cell phone to tell them you do not have a phone service and that you will call as soon as it is restored. This way, you do not have to use up your cell phone minutes, which should be saved for emergencies. We are in the hurricane season. Take all measures to protect your home and property. It is not only your stuff you are protecting, but yourself and your family who have stayed behind. If you have removable hurricane shutters, try to put them up at least 2 days before landfall. Holding a 25-pound aluminum shutter while balancing on a ladder in 74 miles per hour winds is no fun and can lead to bad things. If you are using plywood, get your wood and nails early. There is a slight risk of less than ideal folks wandering around the neighborhood, possibly looking for an empty home to rob. Lock all doors and windows. Place heavy, opaque drapes in front of windows to prevent outside eyes from looking in.
The National Cooperative Credit Union Limited, NCCU, is extending on its commitment to great member service by providing 24-hour access to all your NCCU accounts via QCall, our 24-hour telephone teller. Whether you need assistance managing your NCCU accounts, checking for salary deposits, purchasing top-up and electricity power, or simply verifying your NCCU debit card transactions, don't worry, QCall is here for you. Just visit any NCCU branch to activate your 24-hour telephone teller. NCCU, one big family.
For the first time ever, the OECS Cycling Championship will be held in Dominica. Come Sunday, July 2nd, the cyclists from Anguilla, Antigua, Grenada, St. Lucia, St. Vincent, British Virgin Islands, and the host country, Dominica, will ride their way into the record books, calling all Dominicans along their cycling route to come out and witness for yourself. Share, support, and encourage Team Dominica, including Bram Sanders and Daddy Chess, Mills, Garon, and the boys, as they bang push punch around the corner, waiting their option to navigate and negotiate the road as they compete with boring speed on Sunday, July 2nd. Starting from the Porter's Hill Savannah all the way to the entrance of the Caprettes National Park and back to Porter's Hill Savannah. It's a 60-mile circuit race and it's lovely show. A race of fitness and endurance. Come out and support the first ever OECS organized cycling championships in Dominica. Sponsored by the Dominica Olympic Committee, Fine Foods Inc., Sprinkle Trading, S-Smart, Anchorage Hotel, Burton and Company, Ronald Charles Chambers, Marpin Flow, DBS, Kyrie Q, and Vibes FM, Government of Dominica, Official Championship Water, Lupia Spring Water.
For all your shopping needs at the best prices in Dominica, shop at S-Smart. Shop smart at S-Smart.
Shop smart at S-Smart. Give me some Lotto.
All my favorite snacks.
Shop smart at S-Smart. I got a top-up flow and digital. Shop smart at S-Smart.
Sunday to Sunday.
Open on holidays. Shop smart at S-Smart. So much fresh fruit and produce.
Good quality service. Hey. Unlimited parking. Hey. All the best products at S-Smart. You get the best prices.
Hey. Shop smart at S-Smart for great prices and unlimited parking. Entrance and exit on both Goodwin Road and Rawls Avenue. Open 7 days a week for 448-2340. Shop smart at S-Smart.
we are in the hurricane season. Cut down trees close to your house, car, and any other buildings, or at very least trim their branches. If a large tree falls onto your house, it can punch a big hole in the roof. If a large tree falls onto your car, it can easily be crushed flat. Spindly evergreens are especially likely to fall in the event of a hurricane.
Let the whole world know this is how we flow.
Dads are equally special to us, and Flow got an awesome deal for Dad this Father's Day. Keep Dad connected with a Samsung Galaxy J2 Prime for as low as $479, plus a free 7-day combo plan with 500 megabytes data, 300 anywhere local minutes, and 300 texts. Let's make a plan for Father's Day with Flow. Visit discoverflow.co for more. Available at Flow and all partner locations. Happy Father's Day from Flow.
Let the whole world know.
The National Cooperative Credit Union Limited, NCCU, is extending on its commitment to great member service by providing 24-hour access to all your NCCU accounts via QCall, our 24-hour telephone teller. Whether you need assistance managing your NCCU accounts, checking for salary deposits, purchasing top-up and electricity power, or simply verifying your NCCU debit card transactions, don't worry, QCall is here for you. Just visit any NCCU branch to activate your 24-hour telephone teller. NCCU, one big family.
Let the whole world know this is how we flow.
Dads are equally special to us, and Flow got an awesome deal for Dad this Father's Day. Keep Dad connected with a Samsung Galaxy J2 Prime for as low as $479, plus a free 7-day combo plan with 500 megabytes data, 300 anywhere local minutes, and 300 texts. Let's make a plan for Father's Day with Flow. Visit discoverflow.co for more. Available at Flow and all partner locations. Happy Father's Day from Flow.
It's 14 minutes to 10 o'clock this morning. Good morning. Welcome back. Saying good morning to Juan from your mom, Joanna. Happy birthday to you, Juan. From the entire home circle, okay? We're going to wrap it up at 10 o'clock this morning, but not before I get some phone calls on the discussion that was started this morning. My lawyer, Mr. Noddy. What do you think about the pouring of concrete on Jack's Walk? All the nature lovers this morning and exercise enthusiasts. Give me a call 449-309-5997. Mr. Noddy and his team is trying to stop the pouring of concrete on Jack's Walk. Hello, a move by the Ministry of Tourism. Hello, talk to me.
Yeah, good morning for a second time.
Uh-huh.
Right, Matt, Mr. Noddy is right with respect to what they come up with respect to challenging.
Yes, the action lawsuit, yes.
That's correct.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so, it's really it's very late in a sense that I don't know if you have noticed over the past couple months and even years, the management of the gardens is going down. The gardens is losing its value with respect to how it has been managed. I mean, too many vehicles. Like if you go to the gardens itself, there's like a parking spot. You know, at 1 o'clock you see people rushing. At no time you can enjoy the relaxation and peace of the gardens. And I'm asking the Forestry Division to take control of the gardens. They can introduce a toll. To pay a toll if you have no use for the garden, that you don't go inside.
I'm sure if they introduce a toll, a lot less people will go in.
Thank you very much. But if people know we can recreate, we can walk to the gardens, which is usually the best thing to do. You sit to relax, you chat. And now you're telling me to deface the purpose of the gardens by going to put concrete on Jack's Walk. What kind of thing is that? You know, and that highway they think they put there, what they want? Vehicular traffic up and down? No. The gardens need to be managed. If you notice the new concrete road they put there, the rehabilitation of that road, on one side of the road is already a parking lot. The garden, and Matt, you know the trees are growing lovely.
Mm-hmm.
When you have the trees environmentally exposed to a lot of carbon monoxide, you know what's going to happen over the years? you're going to find trees dying. And so we need to get back the management of the gardens right up so that people can enjoy the recreation, both local and overseas. People can come and enjoy the gardens. When you come to the gardens, a lot of vehicles parked. You cannot pass. They must really try to upgrade and manage the gardens properly, man. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Let's take another phone call here. Very, very, very controversial, if you will, subject there on the gardens and the pouring of concrete on Jack's Walk. Some lawyer and his team is trying to stop what is going on by the Ministry of Tourism. 449 3095 449 3096. Hello, talk to me.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, madam, it's about time that the civil society and politicians take the lead in challenging to correct the ills by the non-planning of authority to do things. It looks like they want to pour concrete all about, and to me that's another thing by itself, a conflict of interest. Who own these concrete companies? Some time ago, Matt, we lost over $9 million in the between 2007 to 2005, 2009 from the European Union because this present government couldn't come out with an ecotourism plan to gain money from the European Union to do an ecotourism project in the gardens. You see? So while they're incompetent in doing these things, they find it is very easy to pour concrete and mess up the place. We see what happened in the car bridge. We should have a class action suit by the civil society to prevent these guys from pouring concrete in a lagoon, which was already planned for since in the days of Leblanc. So I congratulate the people.
You congratulate the lawyers.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Hello, talk to me.
Matt.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you take the concrete and one point in Emsall Road and walk traffic and fix those holes where the tourist people have to go? Why is concrete there on the point just walk? Tell them to take the concrete and go and fix all those potholes they have where buses have to be swaying or those kind of potholes before they get accident. That's what they have to do. They too like to do wrong priorities.
All right, thank you very much. Are you supporting Mr. Wayne Norde class action lawsuit against the Ministry of Tourism? Hello.
Good morning, Matt.
Morning.
Matt,
Yes.
we need you to investigate the privatization of gardens just now. That is what that might overtake us without we even know.
All right, thank you. 4493095. Is there a move to privatize gardens? I haven't heard that one. 449309596. Hello. Are you supporting Mr. Norde and his team to, of course, bring a class action lawsuit? Hello. Somebody's on the line but not paying attention there. 449309596 and 97. Do you think that concrete should be poured on Jack's Walk or Jack's Walks? Number is 4493095. We take another phone call. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Matt.
Uh-huh.
I had an opportunity to see what you're talking about.
All right.
My daughter's class had a Belmarché up to Montrose.
Uh-huh.
And we, on our way back, we passed through Kingsville, and on our way back, we passed down through Jack Walk. That was my first time.
Okay.
And we saw the works was being undergone. So it's like, I don't find it such a bad idea because the way they're doing it, they're not just putting plain concrete. They're doing it like something like, you see our cabrits, they have stones in concrete. And then there's a hollow space in between where they put like gravels in the middle of it. So it's kind of creative, and I find it's okay. I don't see no problem with it.
You see no problem with the point of concrete there?
It looks natural. It looks like, it's nice. It's not like just concrete, plain concrete. There's bricks in between, like stones in between.
All right. Thank you very much. 9:54. Somebody is supporting the government's move. Ministry of Tourism to pull the concrete. Hello, talk to me. Hi. Morning, yes.
Arthur Marte, how are you?
Arthur, good to hear from you.
I'm just calling to go on the public record as supporting the action by
Wayne.
attorney in Norday.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you see people and you talk with them and whatnot and whatnot, and you never realize that actually, you know, some of what drives you also drives them, and I'm very, very excited and very, very proud that a young man like Wayne Norday can find it within himself to sort of become a leader in protecting a very, very important asset.
Athi, why do you think that's important?
Why do I think it's important?
It's just a question to you.
The Botanical Gardens is the most visited site in the whole of Dominica. That's one. The Botanical Gardens is a unique feature in the city of Roseau. It means it gives us as a city, by proportion, one of the largest green areas associated with a capital city anywhere in the world, percentage-wise. And also, it's a carbon sink. One of the reasons why we still have relatively good quality air in the city of Roseau is because of the Botanical Gardens that absorbs carbon dioxide. And increasingly, you know, that becomes really important to the health of the young children and the elders in our society. So there are so many reasons why the Botanical Gardens could and should be assisted in remaining that unique, authentic green space. Years ago, the Dominica Conservation Association prepared a full-fledged, detailed plan.
But here's what I'm hearing, Athi, from somebody who sent me a WhatsApp message. Matt, isn't that lit? Look at the big piece of concrete road in the middle of gardens, and we did nothing to stop it.
Yeah, well, I mean, but at least somebody now is standing up. You know, Matt, you know, the important thing about the environmental movement worldwide and the environmental work that we do is we understand that it will take time because you have to spend time convincing people that there's no disconnection between protecting the environment and growing the economy. Unfortunately, there's still some people who still accuse us of loving trees more than people. But guess what? Why do we have an ecotourism industry in Dominica? It's because people like Christopher Maxime and others protected the forests of Dominica. So we do have forests that people want to see. We do have rivers that people want to see, and waterfalls and lakes, only because we protected the environment. So it's really sad when even people who make their living from tourism and carrying people around as tour guides and bus drivers and hoteliers and so on, carrying people around and giving people a chance to come to Dominica to see greenery, even they sometimes, unfortunately, take objection to the actions that we take to protect the very resource that ultimately gives them a chance to earn a bread. That is the environmental education task, and that's why I'm so excited and happy that young attorneys, a young attorney like Wayne Norday, a prominent attorney, smart attorney, with a young family, whom he recognizes he would like to raise in a clean and green space, is taking the bull by the horns. He's not waiting for a whole mass of people to come out. One individual can make a difference. And that is an important lesson for us to draw from Mr. Norday Singh. I have congratulated him personally, and I am congratulating him now publicly. And if there's anything that people like myself and others who have traditionally been on the forefront of conservation issues in Dominica need to do and would need to do, we will do it. But it is necessary that the next generation of stewards and protectors of Dominica take place. Other than that, if we lose what we still have today, there will be no Dominica as we know it. There will be no tourism. There will be no trees. There will be no air to breathe. There will be no water. So, my goodness, you know, all these are the right buttons, and I'm hoping that other young attorneys, and I know many of them, who have concerns, other young attorneys who are now starting their families, would see it within their reach to make a call to Wayne, make a call to the Forestry Division, make a call to the Tourism Minister, who is Robbie Tong, and say, Robbie, you grew up in Roseau. How can you allow this to happen? And you know what the problem with pouring concrete is? It's not that there's nothing wrong with concrete. It's just that where you pour concrete, it means you're creating faster surface runoff issues, which means you now have to put drains, which you now have to put culverts, and you now have to make arrangements for more massive amounts of water than you had that nature had made arrangements for to come down to the bottom of that hill. And eventually, you're going to make it, if you will, very unpleasant for people who are going to go in there for a nature experience only to find that what they're walking on is concrete, because the concrete covers the soil, and the soil, properly cared for, is the best percolating, filtering mechanism that takes surplus water away. And people who come here don't mind getting a little mud on their shoes, because that's part of the nature experience.
Thank you, Athy Marte. It's 10 o'clock, of course, given support to Mr. Wayne Narde, who's filed a class action lawsuit against the pouring of concrete on Jack's Walk in the Garden. So we're going to take a break, and then we'll come back. When we do, you'll hear the news.
Good morning and welcome to Q95's morning news.